Good evening. Good evening. You have reached another episode of What's Up Doc on Doc Live. I am your host, Danya Craddock, with my lovely co-host, Donna Craddock.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Please share, like, and subscribe. The What's Up Doc is a show sponsored by the Doc Bookshop. The Doc Bookshop is a family-owned, operated bookstore in Fort Worth, Texas. The Doc Bookshop sells audiobooks, ebooks, greeting cards, home care, personal care items, and we sponsored several shows on our YouTube channel. And I'm going to turn over to my lovely host. Hey, Donna, jump on in here.
Well, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Please subscribe. Please share. Call in the troops. Call in your family because we have a wonderful episode on tonight. We have it's our countdown to the Trinity River Book Festival. We're so excited about this year's festival. We're going to have a great time. It's this Saturday, September 16th. Meet us at Trinity River Park on 7th Street, across from Chewy's. If you get lost, Google Chewy's on 7th Street, because we're right across the street. And so we're going to have a great time. We kick off at 8 a.m. with our walk and our run. I say walk first. It's technically walk. but anyway, we kick off with that, the run walk at 8 a.m. And then following that, we go into our author presentations, our poetry at the park, our events with the children. So much is happening. And so we definitely want you to mark your calendars and plan to be there. So, but we're going to get more into that because we got some authors from that event that's going to join us in just a few minutes. But before we get into that, I just want to quickly, because we ain't been here in a while.
We had a recap.
There's been a lot going on with Labor Day and
Jeezy.
We've been back since. Have you been back since Jeezy, super producer?
No.
So we have a lot of catching up to do, but we're gonna have another episode where we do all that catching up. But I will say that we had a wonderful time with the Night Women Book Club this past Saturday. We had a great time with Night Women Book Club. If you want to be part of our Women's Book Club, join us every first Saturday at 3. We just had a wonderful time.
And I had a great time at the 43rd annual L. Clifford Davis banquet. It's an awards and scholarship banquet, and I just had an amazing evening.
Yes.
They did a new installation of the committee members, and it's just a group of young adults, and they are ready to take charge. I am so excited about what's going on at L. Clifford Davis. Shout out to one of my favorites, faves, I shouldn't say that, fave, Judge L. Clifford Davis. He, of course, is named after him, and he was there present and then spoke. And he got his new book that's coming out by Bobby.
Yes, shout out to attorney Bobby Evans and Melanin Oranges for doing this wonderful work on Judge Clifford Davis. This is beautiful. I am so excited about this book. So, and they're going to be at the Trinity River Book Festival this Saturday as well.
And Judge, I didn't talk to Judge Muriel and Hicks spoke, girl. It was.
I know it was fire.
It was fiery. And shout out to my Sawar, who's the president now of L. Clifford Davis. I had to do a shout out.
Yes.
Congratulations to everything you're doing. I can see this organization is in great hands. So shout out to L. Clifford Davis. And I'm happy we're talking about them because Brian G. Buckmeyer, who I was able to share some of his success with ABC News, is coming to Fort Worth. And so
and Brian's going to join us tonight.
Right.
Yes, we're so excited. Brian's going to join us tonight. And also this weekend we did Laps for Literacy. That was great.
Oh yeah.
We were at Grand Prairie at Epic Water Park, and it was beautiful. Shout out to the National Hookup of Black Women. Every year they do an event called Laps for Literacy, and they always include the Doc Bookshop, and it's a wonderful time.
Yeah,
they're doing a great work. So shout out to them. And this week, I'm going to go real quickly this week because I'm going to get to our author. So I'm just going to run it off and then we're going to come back and kind of hash it out. Okay. So, of course, y'all know tomorrow is, what's tomorrow?
Which one is
Tuesday? What happens every Tuesday? Doc Open Mic. Every Tuesday we have Doc Open Mic at 7:30. Y'all definitely come and check it out. We have a great time, and I'm excited about this Tuesday because our host is Trey, and I just love Trey. Trelius Curry is the full name, but we call him Trey. So anyway, Trey will be here. He's a wonderful host. Excellent. So we're gonna have a great night tomorrow. So 7:30, be in the house, and then Wednesday we got a special Doc Live event at 8 p.m. in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month,
a Mexican Independence Day, which also kicks off Hispanic Heritage Month. So, shout out to we have a lot of authors from Thomas Ray Garcia. He's going to be on with Ariel Matamor. I'm gonna work on you guys. I'm gonna work on all my pronunciation. I got 24 hours to get all this thing. I got relectification real bad, but I'm gonna come in with my Spanish my dialect. Okay. Hablas español. I will speak it.
Okay, she needs work. Okay, but anyway, we're gonna have a.
But I'll have Alex on there with me. Alex is over Parent for Change, and he is going to be on there with me. So I have a partner that's really there. That's going to be there to help us lift up Mexican Independence Day.
Right, that's excellent. And then also we're going to have Enough is Enough community talk back and training. Enough is Enough is you know what? It's dealing with the gun violence. It's dealing with all the issues that's going on in our community. And so we're getting back to our community meetings. So definitely be in a place. And not only are we going to talk about it, but we're going to train and figure out how to do better. So I'm excited about that. And then that evening at 8 o'clock, that meeting is at 7. And following that, we have Lion Speaks. Now, Lion Speaks is you just got to come. Just be here Thursday at 8 p.m. Actually, it's an outside group that's doing it, but I love these brothers. These brothers are so cool. And so this event is going to have a vibe all into itself. So I'm looking forward to that.
It's a lot going on. Oh, my God.
But, okay, so super producer's telling me we got some friends with us, and I'm so excited. We got Alicia. Yay! Bring her in. If you can, Alicia, click the link. Richard, click the link.
Hi,
there
y'all.
You are. Hi, Alicia. How are
you?
Hello.
I'm good. I'm here in my PJs.
Well, thank you so much. I know it's late, and so I'm just glad you're taking time out of your schedule to join us on today.
Well, I'm so excited to be here because y'all are my first stop on my book tour, and this is my first book ever. So this is a very special moment for me.
Oh, Rita, we feel so honored. Oh my God, we're the first.
You're the first. You're the first. We were going to launch in Austin, where I'm based. I'm based here in Austin. We have a launch event on the 18th, the day before the book goes live, and that was going to be our first event. But then y'all snuck in here. They were like, we got something in Fort Worth before that. You got to come on up. So I'm excited to drive up this weekend.
We are excited because Texas is busy. Texas is busy, and you got a lot of work. But let me get, for those that do not know you, I really want to read.
Well, wait a minute. Let me also welcome. Where's Al? Okay, Richard. Richard is with us. Hey, Richard, how are you?
All right. Hello.
Good to see you as well. Richard is also going to be an author on Saturday at the event, and so we're going to talk to kind of both of you. But let's start with Alicia. So Alicia, your book, Inverse Cowgirl. Tell us. Can I read it? Oh, wait, Diane want to read your bio first.
I really do.
Yeah, she wants to go. I'm sorry. Yeah, the bios are important. Go ahead.
Alicia Roth-Wiegel is a Forbes and New York Times published change agent working to improve the political and social landscape for marginalized population in the South and around the world. As a partner of the Pride Fund, Alicia raises and invests capital to grow LGBTQIA-led companies. As a human rights commissioner for the city of Austin, she has contributed to the legislation to reduce sexual assault and human trafficking, mandate paid sick leave and abortion funding, and target other social detriments of health. So I am just honored to have you. And you want to pull up Richard's? Or do I? You want to do them both at the same time?
Well, go ahead and read. You got Richard's bio up? If not, you pull up Richard's. I'm going to talk to Alicia. So Alicia, your book, Inverse Cowgirl, that title catches my attention. And so I want you to talk a little bit about that title. And I'm going to ask my super producer to turn you up some in my mic.
Yeah, for sure. So that was an intentional title, definitely to grab folks' attention, as was the cover, which is me kind of reversed from behind with my top off with the cowgirl hat. And where the title comes from is it's obviously a play on words for reverse cowgirl. So the title of the book is not Reverse Cowgirl, although that's fun too. Inverse Cowgirl is the title. And the reason it's called that is because it is about my story living intersex in Texas. And a lot of folks probably don't know what the word intersex means, but it basically means just what it sounds like, which is that a sizable number of people are actually born intersex between the sexes. So I think we understand at this point in society more generally that in terms of sexuality, there's a whole spectrum. You're not just gay or you're straight, there's a whole spectrum in between. And people are now starting to understand that gender is also a spectrum. You're not just a man or a woman. You might be non-binary, or there's a spectrum in between as well. But what people are just waking up to is that sex is also a spectrum. And basically, what that means is that our physical body parts that we're born with, from chromosomes, hormones, reproductive organs, external genitalia, they don't always fit neatly into that male or female category. So, in terms of my own life, I actually have XY chromosomes and was born looking totally female on the outside. But on the inside, instead of having a uterus and ovaries, I was born with internal testes. But then I was forced sterilized as an infant and underwent a lot of medical abuse as a kid and was told to keep all of this quiet and to never tell anyone. And so I grew up my whole life thinking that I was completely alone. And it was a very isolating way to grow up. And then lo and behold, I moved here to Texas in 2016. And I was working at the time with a woman named Wendy Davis, who some of the people logged on here might know who that is. Wendy Davis used to be a state senator in Fort Worth, actually, back in the day. And I started working with Wendy. And through that process of working with her, I got involved in Texas politics. And I ended up coming out and sharing my story as an intersex person for the first time in a Texas state Senate hearing at the legislature, which is probably not how I would recommend that everyone come out. I would recommend maybe start with your family first or with your friends first, whether you're coming out as gay or trans or whatever it might be. But that's how my story went. And basically that's kind of the high level overview. But so Inverse Cowgirl is a story about being intersex in Texas, but it's also bigger than that. So what I like to say is that to be an inverse cowgirl means that you're on the frontier. You're cowgirl, you're on the frontier. So you're kind of part of changing hearts and minds. You're part of, moving social change. And the inverse part means you might be the opposite of what's expected in society in some way, shape, or form. So I think everyone can identify with feeling like too much this or not enough that, or like I don't fit in here, or I don't fit in there. And so everyone can really be an inverse cowgirl. It just means at some point you felt like you don't fit the paradigm of what society thinks you should be or would like you to be. And so I hope that everyone can find a little bit of themselves in my story, even if they don't look like me, even if their story sounds nothing like mine. More than anything, it's a story about healing, and it's a story about reclaiming your body autonomy when it's been taken from you. I actually started writing this book on the day that Roe versus Wade was reversed in the United States. And so I talk about, but the very first sentence of the very first chapter is saying that, this is on the day that I started writing this book, Roe versus Wade was reversed. And all of a sudden, half of the United States knows what it feels like to have your body autonomy taken away from you and to no longer have reproductive rights. I have understood what that felt like from the day I was born. I was sterilized as an infant. I underwent all this medical abuse. They took away my body autonomy and my reproductive decision making when I was too young to even speak. I was an infant still. And so it's taken me 33 years, but I have learned how to reclaim my own body autonomy, even when the government, even when doctors, even when people in positions of power are trying to take that from me. I have found ways to reclaim that for myself, and then how to raise my voice to help others do the same thing. And so I hope that my story can kind of point people in the right direction and help them on their own journey to help reclaim their body autonomy, especially in a country like the United States, where, there are so many ways that the government and others in positions of power are trying to mess with all of us from different marginalized communities right now. So that's kind of an overview of what Inverse Cowgirl is about. I'm happy to. Oh, are y'all still there? I can't see you anymore.
Yeah, we are. We just want to put the focus on you.
Oh, okay.
Keep talking.
Well, no, I was just going to say that's kind of a high level overview of what my book's about, but I'd be happy to answer any questions that y'all have, or
I do have a quick question. You said that it impacts 2% of the world population. Since you came out on the since you started writing your book and then published your book, have many people approached and said that is my story, or do you share some of other people's story within your own work, within your own writing?
Yes. So that's such a good question. The way that this book happened actually is there was a movie made about my work that it was in theaters earlier this summer. Now it's streaming for free on Peacock. So if you'll have Peacock, you can watch it. It's called Everybody. And if you don't have Peacock, you can get a free trial and stream it for free on Peacock. So everyone should watch Everybody. And Everybody was directed by Julie Cohen, who directed the Ruth Bader Ginsburg documentary. She directed the documentary about Polly Murray, who's a non-binary Black woman activist back in the day. She has made all these documentaries about activists in the realm of gender equity. So she reached out to me about 3 years ago, and she said, I want to make a movie about your work. I heard about your work. And I said, okay, well, that's great. We should do this. But if this is going to be the first ever big budget Hollywood, theatrical release film about the intersex movement, it can't just be about a skinny, pretty, blonde, white, cis-passing woman like myself. I was like, we have to showcase the movement more broadly. And so I brought in my friends River and Saifa. So Saifa is a Black intersex man who's originally from Atlanta, Georgia. He now lives in the UK. He's getting his PhD there. And River is a Latinx non-binary activist who's actually an actor in Hollywood. So I ended up bringing both of them on board. The movie is about our three stories. It's about me, River, and Saifa to try to paint a broader picture of the intersex movement. And because the movie ended up being about all three of us and about the movement more broadly, I wanted to be able to share my full story and not just kind of the snippets that you see in the movie. I wanted to be able to tell it in my words and fill in some of the gaps. And one thing you learn if you're making a movie is that like 90% of what you film ends up on the cutting room floor and doesn't even make it into the movie. So basically that's what this book is. It's for, anyone who happened to see Everybody and they got to skim the surface of what it means to be intersex or to learn about my story and about who I am. Inverse Cowgirl kind of fills in the rest of the gaps. But it doesn't only talk about my story as an intersex person. It shares my journey as a political activist more broadly. So everything from running congressional campaigns here in Texas to back when I was helping flip the U.S. Senate in Georgia when I was working on Reverend Raphael Warnock's campaign. And so it talks a lot about my work that I did in rural Georgia, knocking primarily doors of Black homes. Thank God for Black voters in Georgia for saving our asses. I don't know if I'm able to say that word on this, but but okay. So this book, it is about being intersex, but it's also about my political activism more broadly and kind of all the intersections and all the different communities that I've worked with. It's also a lot about sex worker rights. It's about trans rights. It really focuses on all of these communities that have had our body autonomy robbed of us, whether that be people who have been stripped of their reproductive rights, whether that be trans folks, sexual assault survivors, sex workers, anyone who has had their right to make decisions about their own body taken away from them and kind of serving as a blueprint for how you can reclaim control over yourself and your body and over your life.
Awesome. Okay.
I mean, if you're just now tuning in, you guys, we got some fiery, some just mainstream authors that are tuning in. They're going to be at the Trinity River Book Festival, so they're just giving you a taste of what is up to come. Alicia, please hang in there. Please stay on if you can. We're going to bring in some of the other guests that are going to be at the Trinity River Book Festival, and I am going to bring up Richard.
First, though, I just want to give a shout out to Brian. Brian Buckmeyer has joined the conversation. Hey, Brian, how are you?
I'm great. And yourself? Thank you for having me here, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. So we're excited. We're so excited. So go ahead and she's going to read the bio of Alex, and then Brian, you're after Richard, and then you're after Richard.
Richard Gonzalez wrote for 6 years about Chicanos as a Fort Worth Star Telegram weekly guest column. He has published short stories in the Americas Review, a Hispanic literary journal of the University of Houston, and has worked in and observed and researched the Chicano community from the 1970s to present. Richard has previously published a book of nonfiction, Raza Rising, Chicanos in North Texas with the University of North Texas Press in 2016. To follow his writing, visit Richard's website. He has a lot of great writing, and we have some of the books here. So, yes, come on forward, Rich. I can't see you quite, but because you're in the dark, I think we both might be in the dark, but that's okay. They're going to come to Trinity River Festival. Guess what? It's very sunny in Texas, and they will see you at the Trinity River Book Festival. So, tell us a little bit more about your work and what we can expect to see from you at the Trinity River Book Festival.
Are you there, Richard? Is he muted?
Richard, I think you're muted.
You got to unmute.
Yeah, I'm
there.
He
is.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, great. Well, yes, I look forward to the book festival.
Oh, great. And what can we expect? Tell us a little bit about your books and your focus, a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, as you've already mentioned. Okay. Well, right. I'm a writer, and that's all I do at this point in my life. I enjoy writing. It's just part of my personality. I've always enjoyed reading and writing, and in fact, I'm going to participate in the 5K run, that Run to Read that you have starting it off, because I also love to run.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
So I'll be running through the first that morning activity, and then thereafter I'll get of course to participate in the marketplace, and then later I believe you have me scheduled to be presenting the 16 de Septiembre, or Mexican Independence Day lecture, because September 16th, as you know, is the Mexican Independence Day, and it's the start of Hispanic Heritage Month, which begins on September 16th through October 15th. So I appreciate you recognizing the importance of honoring Latinos at this festival. So that's very, very nice of you to do that. My writing primarily focuses in on Latinos, both historical issues and also about their cultural events. Raza Rising is a compilation of essays that I wrote when I wrote for the Forward Star Telegram as an op-ed editor for 6 years. I just put the best pieces together and had this book published by the University of North Texas Press. And another book that I have and that I'll be promoting is a book about the Yaqui Indians called Deer Dancer. It's set in the 1880s in Sonora, Mexico, dealing with the Yaqui Indians and their conflict with the Mexican government. The same issues that American Indians were facing with the American government trying to take Indian land, the same thing was happening in Mexico. And I studied the Yaqui Indians. I actually went down to Sonora, stayed there for a bit, to understand the people firsthand rather than just reading about them, and lived in a van for a while there. So I really enjoyed my experience, and after that, I had enough information to go ahead and put this book together. So I look forward to the event. Is there anything else you'd like to know about me?
Yes. Let's really jump in there just for a minute, because I know it's going to be a lot of detail that we're going to talk about. But I know we had some very in-depth conversations at the bookstore when you came in and talked about Mexican Independence Day. And when Richard and I talked, we were talking about the relationship with the African American community and the Mexican community, how they were pivotal in the liberation and the freedom of the African American, because at one particular time, Texas did not want slavery on this land, on this
Mexico.
soil. Huh?
Mexico.
Yeah, well, when it became Tejas, Texas, they did not, while they were under there's Six Flags over Texas. And when it was under Texas rule, they did not want the enslavement of African or any people. And so you went and we kind of went back and forth, and how a lot of people don't even understand the history of Texas and the strong relationship between the African and the Mexican Tejas community.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Well, you know what? This we're gonna have so much exciting information at the Trinity River Book Festival. I am so looking forward to it. So thank you, Richard, for sharing. And now next we're gonna bring up Brian. Diane, do you have Brian's? Oh, do we have another author that just joined? Is that Lauren Steffi? Hey, Lauren. Okay, we're gonna get to you in just a few. But right now, we're gonna. Diane, do you have Brian's?
Yes, Brian. Let me just tell you, I've been dealing with you all weekend. Okay. Let me just tell you, I think some people from the L. Clifford Davis Legal Association on the probably in the chat. Hopefully they'll show themselves or they'll let us know that they're here. But I was like, you guys, you got to come out and support. Brian G. Buckmeyer. He's a legal analyst, and he does a lot for the fighting. Fighting for the rights, similar to Alicia, just fighting for the rights, especially for young African American men. But real quick, I'm just going to read your bio, and so we can jump in and ask you a little bit of questions. But again, this is someone else that is going to be at the Trinity River Book Festival, and he has. You could just go down his Facebook page. Brian is out there doing the work. My goodness, Brian G. Buckmeyer is a senior staff in NYC public defender in the criminal defense practice and homicide defense task force at the Legal Aid Society, representing indigenous clients in Brooklyn, New York. He is the anchor for Law and Crime Daily, a nationally syndicated show covering the hottest cases and controversies from courtrooms nationwide. He is also a legal contributor for ABC and has covered events like the death of Ahmaud Arbery, which we had a big photo fest here when they did photo fest. We were one of the locations that they showed all the photos when they were doing a lot of the protests. I'm sorry, y'all. I got this fly here.
This fly has
George
Floyd. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The trials against Harvey Weinstein and R. Kelly. And many more. In addition, he serves on the board of trustees for Coney Island Prep, a charter school in South Brooklyn. Born in Toronto of Caribbean heritage, Brian and his wife, shout out to your wife, is she on, when you busy like this, we have to pay attention to your wife and your family. So shout out to your family. Welcome Brian Buckmeyer to What's Up, Doc.
Thank you very much for having What's Up, Doc. I appreciate the shout out and
there's a fly in her head. I get it.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for that great introduction. I am also the author of Come Home Safe. It is a YA novel that I guess is probably my first child or second child, depending how you want to look at it, because I do have a 1-year-old son. But the book was born out of kind of my anxiety becoming a father. After the death of so many young Black men during the summer of unrest, as it's called, but especially Elijah McClain, he was one of the men that was killed in Colorado. He was wearing a ski mask because he has circulation problems, and he was attacked basically by police and killed and shot up with ketamine. and later died days later. And after that, my brother, who's 12 years younger than I am, came up and said, Brian, how do I not become the next hashtag? And he asked that question, me being his legal guardian. And he asked it very seriously. He's like, Brian, if you, and he did the same thing you did. He read my resume. He said, if you, this person who's public defender and civil rights cases and on TV, and my brother who's taught me how to brush my teeth and tie my tie and wear a suit, if you don't have this answer for me, who does? Because my wife and I were trying at the time, and I knew that this might be a conversation that I would probably have to have, especially if I have a son, I went out and tried to find the answer. So I interviewed about 20 people in the criminal justice system, former prosecutors, police officers, court officers, judges, you name it. And I said, what's the conversation that you're having with your children every time they turn the TV and they see someone that looks like us dies in the hand of the police? And so I created this book where there are two stories, one of my son and one of my daughter, who are falsely accused of crimes that have happened to myself or my clients. And they navigate that situation using some of the wisdom that their father, a public defender, or their mother, someone from the nonprofit organization realm, which is what my wife does, tells them. And I won't give away the stories, but both stories get to a climax where you get really scared for these children. And they are children. They're 14 and 12 years old. And then after the situation, they have that conversation with us. They have the conversation of, this happened to you. How do you feel? What did you go through? And even the parents kind of open up as to how they feel. I can tell you for myself, I love being a boy dad. Don't get me wrong. It is the greatest feeling in the world. I played college soccer. I'm already putting soccer balls in his crib, being like, come on, little guy, kick this. But when I found out we were having a son, as much as I thought, I get to share all this son stuff with him, I also know how the world is going to look at it. I know there are certain conversations I have to have with him, and those come up in the book. One of the really interesting things that someone taught me was they don't even let their son hold their wallet in their back pocket, because reaching for your back pocket could also look like reaching for a weapon, and that could be a death sentence. I spoke to another person and they said, I don't even let my son or my child have black, brown, or silver wallets, because those are too close to the colors of a gun, and I don't need them to be confused for that. And so a lot of those nuggets are put into the book as to what we teach our children how to be safe. Not because, and as I say again in the book, not because it should be the responsibility of children, but I rather fight for your rights than fight for your life. And I need to make sure my children are safe in this world while I'm still fighting all those things that you listed to try to make it better for them. And so that's pretty much what the book is touching upon.
Okay.
I was so captivated by this because, Brian, I have a 22-year-old, and
she does not sleep. 22-year-old young man.
I need to see him while I'm talking. Can you put us both up, please? I need to see him. But and I used to tell him, do not, because he had this thing. He was an athlete, and so he would always want to run in a hoodie down the street. And I started having conversations with my neighbor, and he's always late. He was always late going to the bus stop. So he put on his hoodie, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning. So I started having conversations with my neighbor and said, hey, he's a young man, his personality, he's always rushing in the morning. We're rushing in the morning, and he just jumps out and he just darts down the street in his hoodie trying to make it to the bus. And I said, and I had a conversation, African-American neighbors, white neighbors, all of my neighbors, and let them understand that, hey, this is a young man. I want him to be safe. So I'm having this because I don't know where you're mentally focused. And it's because it's a telltale that we have to have these conversations, that society has not evolved to the point where we're okay with one another as neighbors. So, and it's bigger than that, from the neighbor to the community, to the region, to the nation. It is a challenge. Internationally, it is a challenge.
We can see that you're passionate about this.
I know, right?
So we're going to stop right
a
there.
second. That's why I teamed you up with my brother's keeper. They're going to be, they're going to have to lead the conversation with you. So
wait, who?
Yeah, and we didn't mention this, and I want to go back to mention this. Alicia, your workshop is at 12:30, or your talk is at 12:30. You're doing
Yes.
a presentation. So those who want to come and see Alicia, she will be on stage at 12:30. And then we missed Richard. I think Richard, I don't know if Richard's still
I
on
don't
with
think
us.
Richard could.
No, Richard Gonzalez. He's actually be in conversation with Marion Surlis, and it's going to be moderated by Alexander Montalvo. So it's going to be a great conversation, and he'll be on stage at 12 o'clock. So definitely tune in. And so Alicia, we appreciate you. Alicia, okay, she's gone, but yeah, definitely check her out. And then Brian, you're going to be on at 11.
Yep.
You're going to be on stage at 11, and yes, you're going to be in conversation with Ricky Clark. So yes, yes. So we're looking forward to that. That's going to be a great conversation.
And I think he was asking a question like who that was, and I don't know if we told him before. That is My Brother's. He's the president and executive director of My Brother's Keeper, and I need to send you all this, huh? We will do that. Yeah, and My Brother's Keeper. My Brother's Keeper is a organization that was started by ex-president President Barack Obama. And so it is still going on today in our area in the city of Fort Worth under the leadership of Ricky Clark. And they were excited when I had told them, he's already read your book and everything. So, the city is excited about this. And so I told them to get ready.
I thought it was interesting when you said My Brother's Keeper, because when I turned 18, I became my brother's legal guardian. And when I turned 21, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but the tattoo around my wrist says, "I am my brother's keeper." So
wow, that's gonna be an interesting conversation for you too.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So it is a concept that is very near and dear to my heart, and I wear it on my wrist at all times. It's why I wear my watch in my right hand, but I never cover this, so it's always there.
Wow, that is so
amazing
powerful.
How that lined up.
I know that's deep.
Yeah.
So. Okay, we're going to go and move over to Lauren Steffi.
So thank you for joining us, Brian. We appreciate you.
My pleasure. I will see you on Saturday.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Lauren, our babe is here. Oh my God, am I echoing? I'm echoing back.
Why are we echoing? Keep going.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us? Do you hear echo?
I don't hear an echo.
Okay, then we're going to keep talking. Keep going.
Okay. Hey, Lauren Steffi is the author of 5 books of nonfiction, Deconstructed and Insider's View of Illegal Immigration and the Building Trades. He is also the author of The Last Trial of T. Boone Pinkins, George B. Mitchell, Brackley. I got a paragraph. Sustainability and Orthodox Quest to Save the Planet. The man who thought like a ship and drowned in oil. He has just. I'm just hearing a bad echo. That's okay.
Keep going.
Okay. BP and the Reckless Pursuit of Profit. He is also the author of a novel, The Big Empty. The Big Empty was the first book that we did at Trinity River Book Club, and I am so excited. It's just amazing read going into a desolate area or a small community and building big business, and a lot of communities were built in that shape, form, or fashion in Texas. So in terms of reading the West, I think Lauren Steffi does an excellent job of bringing the voices out in Texas, and I am truly honored that he is going to be here on books. He has a publishing company, and under his publishing company, we have Marcus Cement for Bookstore Romance Day, and everybody loved her. He has some great books. I talked about his books at TCU when I went up there to the medical students, and I said, this publishing company is a publishing company you will want to know.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm really excited. So the timing of this is great because the paperback version of The Big Empty comes out a day before the festival. It comes out on Friday. And
Yes.
while, a paperback normally isn't that big a deal, one of the things we did was I did a 5-part podcast series last year looking at, even though it's a novel, it's looking at a lot of the themes of the book and how we're dealing with that in Texas today. Issues like water, uh, power. You might have noticed we have a few issues with our power grid here in Texas these
Yeah.
days, as well as things like affordable housing, land use, things like that. And so what we did was I actually took the transcript from the podcast and created a supplement to the book, which is actually in the back of the paperback. So there's a little bit more information. Even if you read The Big Empty, you might want to check out the paperback because there's some new perspective and context for it. And yeah, I'm really excited about it, and I'm excited to be back in Fort Worth for another book festival. And Margie Seaman, as you mentioned her earlier, she's going to be there as well. And
Oh, Margie's coming back.
Margie's coming back, and
Oh my
and
gosh.
she's hard at work on her sequel to her novel Someday Belongs to Us, and I'm hard at work on a sequel to The Big Empty. So we're kind of in a race to see who gets done first. But we also have a number of other great books coming out this fall and in the spring. So it's been an exciting time.
Okay, Laura, do you have 2 windows open?
No, you
Or
got your
phone?
you got your headphones. Do you have your headphones? Because I'm coming back out in your laptop.
I didn't bring my headphones in here. I apologize.
Okay, we gonna work through it because we're gonna work through it. I did not know Margie's coming. I am going to do a special flyer for Margie. I just have to do one for Margie. I'm sorry. You should have led with that last week.
She loves you guys, and that event you did with her last month was fantastic. So I appreciate
Oh
that.
my God, I got so much great feedback. They just, I mean, she gonna have to ride out with us every bookstore romance day. You know, we just gonna have to do it for here on out because everybody, everybody just has that respect and want to understand and want to see love because we don't really see love beyond that point. We don't see it, but after your 40s, you think it's all down here. But she put a fresh look, a fresh feel on. Oh God, I guess we can't really tell you. I don't know, Lauren, if you gonna understand all this stuff from a woman's perspective, but she did it for us. Okay.
Okay, so
No, I think that's great.
Lauren's
When I started this company, I did not expect to publish romance novels at all. And when Margie first told me she was working on one, I didn't know if she was serious or not. And then she sent me the manuscript, and I remember I took it with me to Colorado on vacation. I read it, and I was just laughing out loud. And my wife was like, what's so funny? And I told her, and so then she read it. And again, it's not really her genre either, but we both just really loved the book, and so I was happy to be able to publish it. And that's one of the nice things about starting my own publishing imprint was really, being able to help authors like Margie, who, quite frankly, probably would not get picked up by a major publishing house, and giving them a way to get their books in print and reach an audience. And she actually just did a blog post about how meaningful it is to her to go to book club events and things like that and see. And I know this is true, from my own perspective as well as an author. When you write a story and you see how people respond to the words that you wrote, it's really very gratifying. And the characters that you feel like because you worked with them as you're writing the book, to see how other people react to them and how they connect to them is really very gratifying.
wonderful. Okay, we look forward to seeing you this Saturday, Lauren. You and your crew, and so at Lauren will be on stage. You save your question because at 11 o'clock, Lauren will be on stage. So Lauren, we look forward to seeing you this Saturday.
All right.
And thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
You bet. Thank
And
you.
Lauren, I
Good
do
seeing you
want to
guys.
talk about Second Lives when you come. We're going to talk about Second Lives when you come.
I'd be happy to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another. That was a book we published this spring, but it's getting a lot of attention, and it's a very moving and a very moving book, and again another one that I was very felt very privileged to be able to publish.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, my friend. We appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, look forward to seeing you this weekend. All right. Well, family, I'm telling you, join us this Saturday. We
You
just
just got a taste. Oh my goodness.
we got so much going on this weekend. There's so much talent that's going to be in the Fort Worth area this Saturday. I mean, you seriously make your way to Trinity River Park this Saturday, September 16th. Be a part of the Run to Read. Let me explain the Run to Read and how valuable and important that is. Okay, that is our fundraiser for our literary programs that we do at the bookstore. That's our children's story time. That's our books with treats. That's our reading wonderland. We got our cultural programs. All that helps with those events. So please support. This is a fundraiser for us, so please support. Come and Run to Read.
Thank
Or
you
walk.
so much, Donna, for putting that out there. That is so important that you put it out there and wrapped it all together like that.
Oh,
The
yes.
Run to Read is that deep and that important to what we do, and supporting the authors too. Lawrence Steffi, who you just heard, he said, I don't know about this Run to Read, but I think I'm going to rethink it. I use his quote all the time. So.
Yes. So definitely, because it's a fundraiser and we need it. So definitely get your group, get your family, get your friends, your company. We got companies coming out, being a part of it. So yeah, help us. Also, we got the Poetry in the Park. That's going to be happening at the Trinity River Book Festival. That's going to be exciting. We got, Mike Gwynn is hosting that. And of course, he does a fantastic job. So we know we're going to have an awesome show at 1:00. So make sure you're in the place or out. Not really in. Make sure you're there at 1:00 because it's actually an outdoor event. And we're going to have a food vendor. We're going to have a lot of things going on. So definitely be there. And lastly, I just want to say there's ways you can support the Trinity River Book Festival. And actually, I'm going to go to my list. I'm going to read
She has
her
a very great list. She's done an excellent job of putting this list
I'm going to
together.
go to my
and,
list. Hold on, let me see.
She's just done an excellent job of putting this whole list together. Trinity River is a lot of work.
It's a lot.
But it's for a great cause because it is National Literacy Month. And literacy is so important to the survival of communities. It's so important to your own freedom, to your own liberation, and maintaining your own freedom and liberation. So that's why we encourage people to not just learn to read and then read a lot of different books.
Yeah, so ways you can support the Trinity River Book Festival. One, of course, become a sponsor. Sponsorship starts at $250. And it will get you a lot of things. Of course, you're going to get a booth. You're going to get signage. You're going to get a logo representation. There's a lot of things with that. And then it goes up. So definitely become a sponsor. And then and just to shout out some of the sponsors we already have. Let me go down to that because that's important. A shout out to Greater St. Stephen First Church. They are a sponsor, and so is Unity in the Community. We definitely appreciate their support of this event. We also appreciate Stony Creek. We just heard from Lawrence Steffi. He's one of our publisher sponsors. We appreciate him. And also we appreciate the Fort Worth Library for their partnership and for MBK partnership and for the literary Lone Star Literary Life. We definitely appreciate our partnerships as well. So shout out to our sponsors and partners. And so definitely become a sponsor, but also you can become a vendor. If you're a vendor, whether you're Arthur or you may have other products, we do have a literary marketplace, but we also have a non-literary marketplace. So if you're interested, become a vendor, and also nonprofit. You just may want to come and bring your organization. We definitely welcome that. We're going to have a lot of different organizations out there as well. And then register for the Run to Read. That is definitely important. register for the Run to Read. And you could also buy a business bundle. You could get race route signage. People don't realize how the importance of race route signage. I am a walker, so I actually enjoy seeing those signs, and I'm reading those signs. They're so encouraging. So you can get a sign, and then of course you can do an ad in our event guide. In our event guide, we're going to have our event guide ready Thursday or Friday. It's going to be beautiful. Diane does a wonderful job with our guys, and so I'm looking forward to the event guide that's going to be out on Thursday or Friday. And that's it. The last but not least, buy books. TheDocBookshop.com. Support the author, buy their books. So you can buy them online on our website or at the event. And also, I want to give a shout out to our super producer, who's going to be the DJ 720. He's been making a name. Well, he has a name. He's reinvented. Okay, there's a long story with that one. but he's not new to the DJ game. But anyway, he's all over the place. But anyway, he's going to be at the Trinity River Book Fest. So we're looking forward to that. Shout out to
we need can we get a fast food diaries at the like a commercial or something?
We need the logo. You know what?
Yeah,
send us your logo. Hey, he's a
one
partner.
of our sponsors. Yeah.
So, but
I would.
That, didn't we? Oh yeah, we didn't.
We already put it on everything.
Yeah,
but I really wish we just gonna have to figure out how to squeeze one in there. We can't squeeze one in there, but maybe we can come up with something. We got 72 hours. We done did more with this 72 hours.
Oh, with the commercial
or something. We'll figure out something between the.
Okay, so
and you can follow them too as well. They have an episode every Thursday coming up. So the Fast Food Diaries is amazing, hilarious. I have not seen one like it, anything like it. You could probably show one now. There's nobody.
You got a short one because we're short on time. So
there's nobody out there doing it like this.
Also, y'all, I do want to say, if you want to perform or you want to volunteer, shoot us an email. We got this cute dance troupe that's going to be out there with the kids. I'm looking forward to that. So they're going to be there, and then we got our poets that's going to be in the place. And y'all, I'm gonna get headphones because these things. Brittany, mental note. 720, mental note. Okay,
I got. Look,
yo, I don't know why these things always pop out my ear.
Look, I got some headphones on her, and she ain't gonna like it because the headphones are bulky nowadays.
Oh, well, that's okay because that might work better for me.
We're gonna get you some headphones in.
Because I'm always going like this, and it's always falling out for some reason.
Okay, we
got a video?
Yeah, we got a Fast Food Diary video, y'all. This is your break from us.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm on TikTok.
Ladies.
Hi.
Can we order something, please?
Yeah. We need to be a little louder.
Hey, excuse me, ma'am.
Hello.
Oh, hey. Finally. So we're here to try you guys' chicken and beef kebabs and vegan king pies.
Please. Do we have any vegan pies? Nah. I didn't think we did.
Oh, wait a minute.
I have one question. Is she cooking my food because she has no gloves on and she's on her phone, which is
I don't want to hear that either.
Bacteria, and I want my food safe. So if y'all cook anything, can she require that she has on a hairnet and gloves?
Oh, you can require all you want, but you don't cut this check.
Wow, this is. I don't get this. I can't believe the service. We should have checked the signs. Are they all rated?
You guys' manager or something?
The manager? Ain't no manager.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I got about them.
Ooh, that's rough there.
You're on our lunch break. We don't have that much time left. So
Well, we was on our lunch break, and then y'all came and brewed
Didn't they say something about some kebabs?
Yeah,
All we got is burgers and fries.
How y'all break at the same time? I'm
So,
lost.
because we do what we want.
y'all the only two here.
I had no that problem.
Okay.
So, yes.
Can we just have a cheeseburger.
Ain't no meat.
Ain't no cheese. Oh, yeah, dang.
You
Ain't
said
no
we
meat
had
either.
burgers on the grill.
These are Krabby Patties. These are not real.
Yeah, so
They're
y'all
fake.
gonna have to order something else.
You gotta call Plankton or somebody.
Can I get the Krabby Patty with cheese?
No.
Ain't no cheese.
Ain't
you
no
got
cheese.
shit?
Oh,
Ain't
I'm
no
trying to
cheese.
do
We
any
got
service,
buns.
okay?
We have ketchup packages.
And we got some salt.
That's your hint.
And some Tabasco.
Because we're kind of waiting for the shipment right now, and then y'all rudely interrupted us because we were trying to tell you, but at the same time, yeah, that's what we have.
Yeah.
That's what we got in that
Got
Gen
bread
Z
and
group.
seasoning,
That's
that's
what you
it.
got.
Yeah.
And I got like half a small size order of fries.
Yeah.
That's a full basket.
No, that's sides.
That's not.
Half size, we grown. I'm not gonna fill nobody up.
It's like this big.
Well, how can we magically make some food appear back there? I'm going on break.
Oh,
Well,
there it goes.
Oh.
That's that.
Being tired.
Hilarious. Y'all check them out. Fast Food Diaries. YouTube them. They got a lot of videos out. So hilarious. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. If I walk in, they were good because my conversation wouldn't been that long. I mean, I just don't. I mean, actually, I probably would have left after I seen her on the phone, ignoring me. Like, okay, you don't want my business or my money. I'm gone. But anyway, you're hilarious. But I hope that's not true, though. I think that's exaggerated. That's got to be. I mean, seriously, can you imagine?
I cannot even imagine nothing like that.
So thank you all for joining us this evening. We had a great evening with our authors, and see y'all next time y'all see me. I'm gonna have headphones.
Can I see some of the comments? I think El Cover David was on there earlier.
She was?
No, I'm talking about people from the association.
Oh, okay.
That was the first comment I read. She said, "Thank you for getting a shout out to us."
Well, wonderful. Oh, we got comments. Well, okay. Well, we're gonna check them out later. But y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Oh, Don, what you about to do?
Oh, nothing. Go ahead and thank them for tuning in.
Okay. Well, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a wonderful
I thought Bobby
evening,
Edmond was going to call in.
and we appreciate you all so much. Join us next week. Next week, we're going to have a Trinity River recap or rewind. And so join us next week, okay?
Oh,
all
subscribe.
Subscribe and share. We love you. Live, love, and read.